What's up guys, let's time travel today and have a look at some of the historical iPhones of the past, discuss some things about them and see how they brought an impact on the current iPhones that we carry in our pocket today. Now we don't have every iPhone on the table, but these are some of the iPhones which took a major stride in what it is today. Now we think the iPhones up to the iPhone 3GS are retro iPhones, the iPhone 4 up till the iPhone 6 Plus are vintage iPhones, the iPhone 6s up till the iPhone 8 Plus are old iPhones, and the iPhone 10 till now are the newer or modern iPhones. Now guys, I really regret of not having the original iPhone on the dash today here, as it's a rare breed in India and we couldn't find one, so we have its successor, the iPhone 3G. The iPhone 3G has the exact same specifications when it comes to the processor and the RAM. Then we have the iPhone 4S, the iconic design which we still use in today's iPhone. After that we have the iPhone SE. Now this is the same design as the iPhone 5 and 5S. After that we have the iPhone 6 Plus, which I just made a video on, you can check it out here. Moving ahead we have the iPhone 8 Plus, the last plus size iPhone with a Touch ID. And finally we have the iPhone 13 Pro, the latest and greatest iPhone, which is a derived design from the iPhone 10. So although we don't have all the iPhones on the dash today, we have all the designs that Apple has come up over the years barring the first iPhone. So let's start with the retro iPhone 3G. Now I apologize because I failed to boot this phone, as there seems to be some issues with it, but we will go through its design and specs real quick. It has the same internals as the original iPhone and also the iconic sensors like the proximity sensor, ambient light sensor and 3-axis accelerometer, but features a new plastic and stainless steel band wrapped all around, which you still see in modern day iPhones. But the difference here is there are no fingerprints on this band, unlike the iPhone 13 Pro where it is a fingerprint magnet from the sides. The plastic has come up from the back on most places because it's a 14-year-old phone and has never been inside of any case. It sports a 3.5-inch 480 by 320 IPS LCD display. It also added 3G to the iPhones, and the OS that it shipped with, the iPhone OS 2.0, brought in the App Store. It also changed to a regular headphone jack from the proprietary headphone jack on the original iPhone. Kids today won't even know what is a headphone jack. Anyways, this is a 8GB iPhone 3G and it has 128 MB of RAM. Yes, not GB, 128 MB of RAM, due to which it failed to attain features like multitasking in iOS 4. The last supported iOS version for this iPhone 3G was iOS 4.2.1, and it was succeeded by the iPhone 3GS, which had the same body from the outside but improved on the internal specifications of this iPhone 3G from the inside. Next up, what we have is the design that brought so many changes to the iPhone, and it is a timeless design. This is the iPhone 4S, but it has the same design as the revolutionary iPhone 4. It's the best design Apple ever made, and the proof of that is that they still use the same design on their latest iPhones. The glass and stainless steel sandwich is what Steve Jobs came up with in 2010, and it is still used in 2022. The iPhone 4 brought the flat back and flat sides to the iPhones, removing all the curves from the iPhone 3GS. It brought front-facing camera that enabled FaceTime. It brought the HD camera and LED flash to iPhones. iOS 4 brought multitasking to iPhones. iPhone 4 also added the gyroscope in ever-growing sensors of the iPhones. 4S, they debuted Siri, which has refined over the years and that we use today. It again improved all the internal specifications of the iPhone 4, and this is a 8GB iPhone 4S with 512 MB of RAM. Next up we have the original iPhone SE. Now this phone came after the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus, but I am showing you before that, as this is the same design as the iPhone 5 and 5S. The iPhone 5 brought a new design with its glass and aluminum design, which we still see on today's regular non-Pro iPhones like the iPhone 13. The iPhone 5 brought the 4G network to the iPhones, which we still use today in most of the countries. This design is personally my favorite design, and back when I was in the college, I was a mad fan of the iPhone 5S. The 5S was a big leap from inside, as it was the first iPhone to sport a 64-bit processor alongside the Motion coprocessor, brought the Touch ID to the forefront, had slow motion video recording in the cameras and dual LED flashlights, iOS 7 also debuted on the iPhone 5s and it was a complete visual overhaul compared to any other iOS versions. It brought the flat design to the OS and redesigned everything from the ground up. And it is the design that we still use today with iOS 15, just that every year it gets better at some things and brings slight design changes. The iPhone SE on the other hand came as a mid-range iPhone in 2016 with the body of the iPhone 5s but the specifications of the iPhone 6s. So it is a hybrid iPhone. This is a 16GB iPhone SE. After that we had this, the big boys, the iPhone 6 Plus. This was again a major redesign when it comes to iPhones. We also had a regular iPhone 6, but both of them blew up so much in sizes when compared to the tiny 4-inch iPhones before that. The 6 went up to 4.7 inches of the display, while the 6 Plus decided to go all out at 5.5 inches. The Plus also brought the full HD resolution for the very first time in iPhones. The design also changed with all aluminum build as the glass was ditched. The rounded sides made a return in favor of the flat sides. 6 also added barometer to its sensor list. The 6 Plus was the first iPhone to bring OIS to the rear camera. The last supported iOS version on the iPhone 6 Plus is iOS 12.5.5 and this is a 64GB iPhone 6 Plus. After the iPhone 6 Plus, Apple continued with this design for around 4 years and the last plus size iPhone that we got was this, the iPhone 8 Plus. It had a similar design as the iPhone 6 Plus but brought some minor tweaks in design like bringing back the glass and aluminum design, and this minor tweaks over the years resulted in major changes and new features from inside, like this 3D touch which debuted in the iPhone 6s and ended in the iPhone 10s. The 6s also brought faster Touch ID when compared to the iPhone 6. The 7 Plus brought the secondary telephoto camera and portrait mode that we all love so much today. It removed the headphone jack and physical home button in favor of the much crisper and tighter Taptic engine vibration motor. And finally, the 8 Plus added wireless charging with its glass back. The iPhone 8 Plus packs a Apple A11 Bionic, has 3GB of RAM, and this is a 256GB iPhone 8 Plus. And lastly, the newer iPhone starting from the iPhone 10 with its all-screen design with a notch on the top. Notch is there for a purpose as it is a one-on-one replacement for the most powerful authentication system until then, the Touch ID, which is now replaced by the Face ID, facial authentication. The iPhone 10 was the higher-end iPhone which switched to an OLED display from the IPS LCD iPhones prior to that and brought a massive redesign to the iPhones which had big bezels both on the top and bottom. The iPhone 10 also added the navigation gestures that we are so used to today because it ditched the home button for more screen real estate. The iPhone 11 Pro brought the triple cameras to the iPhone with the third camera being the ultra-wide lens that we love so much. The iPhone 12 Pro brought the flat sides back from the iPhone 5 days, which is the same that we get on the iPhone 13 Pro. It also brought the 5G network to the masses, and the 12 Pro Max also brought sensor shift stabilization, which we see in all the iPhone 13 models. And finally, the 13 Pro reduced the size of the big notch which has the Face ID sensors and brought the much awaited high refresh rate 120Hz panels into the iPhones for the very first time. This 13 Pro is a 128GB iPhone, has the Apple A15 Bionic and has 6GB of RAM. So from 128MB of RAM, we are currently at 6GB of RAM in iPhones. So guys, this is the journey of the iPhone until now. I really enjoyed making this video as I got to learn a lot of little things about the old iPhones, and I hope that you also learned a bit from this video. iPhones are the most popular phones in the world and always outsells the competition, so it will be interesting to see what Apple has to offer in the next iPhones when they announce the iPhone 14 later in the year. So that's all for this video guys. You know the drill, like, share and subscribe to the channel because the next video is just around the corner. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you very soon.